There's another little feature in Camera Raw. It's the last panel on the right-hand side over here. It's called Snapshots. It's worth checking out. It's kind of like Camera Raw's version of versions is really what it comes down to. So let me show you where you'd use it. Let's say I'm going to apply something to this. I'm going to kind of go a different direction with this photo. We're going to go dark, okay, and kind of maybe pump up some of those highlights, pump up some of those whites. Take my adjustment brush over here. Remember how I brightened? I did this in another video, but we'll come over here. We'll even brighten everything else a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, I've taken the photo. If you look at the difference here, before, after, we've taken it kind of dark. It looks like the sun's peeking through and really just shining down on the rocks here. It's a direction that we could take the photo. I'm not sure it's a direction I want to, but it's a direction that we could take it. So let's come over here to the snapshots panel, because maybe I want to compare it with another one. So you go to the snapshots. All you do is click create snapshot. I'll just call it dark. You don't even have to call it anything. Most of the time I don't, because I don't create so many snapshots that I can't remember what they are. But you can give it some type of a descriptive name, click OK. And then I can come back over here and take this back. Maybe pull my white balance back in a little bit, change a couple of the settings, come over here, create another snapshot, call this, normal, hit OK, come over here, maybe go turn this over to a black and white. And go maybe add a little bit of a color tint to it, something like that. Tweak the exposure a little bit. All right, and add another snapshot, call this tinted, click OK. And what I've just done here, I basically created 3 different versions of the same photo. So now I can compare. I don't have to go back and forth and undo and redo settings. I'll just come to the snapshots panel and I can compare the dark version with the normal version with the tinted version. Just keep clicking and it changes your Camera Raw settings to reflect how they were when you created that snapshot. So you can kind of bounce back and forth, figure out which one you like. And when you figure out which one you like, you can delete them. They'll stick with the raw file. So as long as I save this and close it, whenever I open it back up, these same snapshots will still be here. They always travel around with your files that you've edited inside of Camera Raw. If you're done with them, you can always come over here and just click that little trash can and delete them. But a lot of people, I've heard a lot of people say, because a lot of people that use Camera Raw also use Lightroom, okay? And I use Lightroom most of the time, but there are times where I do use Camera Raw. And I hear a lot of people say, is there something in Camera Raw that's similar to virtual copies that we have inside of Lightroom? Because virtual copies are kind of like our version or versions inside of Lightroom. Your snapshots panel is going to be your closest to that. Okay, it's not exactly versions, but it is different versions. Just think of it as you get yourself to a point in editing. You look at the photo and say, no, I kind of like it. I think I like it. I want to save it as a snapshot. Take a picture of it at that point in time. And then that way you can go off and edit on a different path like we did here. Okay, you get off on that other path and you realize, I don't really like this path that much. I want to get back to where I was before. The snapshots are the nice, easy way to be able to do that, because all you got to do is come to the panel, click on it, and you're right back at the settings you were at when you created that snapshot.